Meron yata ako dito. Ayun,
Thank you.
sakto.
Meron ba? Oh, yan. Very good. Thank you very much.
Ayaw magsaleko ka na lang.
All right, we're
Sana nga, but I
live.
would look a little bit, no.
We've got a full house tonight on Tunay na Rider. We've got some awesome guests. We've got the fabulous Orbe Boys with us, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun show. We're gonna learn a lot about the different brands, and I've always wondered what it's like being a fly on the wall or joining this family for dinner, because I'm pretty sure there's some really interesting discussions. So that's why we have the show.
Ano naman
Ano ba
tayo
ito iba? Pag natapos ng episode, ano na ba? May conclusion na ba tayo sa ano? What's the best brand?
Ako,
Diba, nasa script na KTM sasabihin natin.
so we all obviously have our favorites. Uy, nako, nandito na si Sir Gil Valderas. Oh, Jacob, you gotta represent. We all have our biases and our favorites. Si Jolly is obviously hardcore BMW. He loves classic BMW bikes. And
iba, pag nakita mo yung t-shirt ko ibang ano ako ngayon.
Tignan natin.
Ibang colors ako ngayon.
Nagtatanong kung nandito si Bak o nasa presinto pa.
Wala si Bak.
Tingnan natin kung makakahabol kasi pinaka-usapan natin si Bong de Brija last week pumayag naman siyang pakawalan si Bak na maaga.
Nag-ano na ba ng yun, bail? Nag-post na ng bail?
Oy, nandito si Archie Garcia. Hello, Kuya Bobby.
Nako, madami ng dito. Madami kakampi ang BMW dito sa palabas na to.
And then obviously we've got Buck. Hopefully he can join us. Hopefully makalabas sa presinto. Si Buck, and he's definitely into Japanese. Oh, where's... All right, we are live and we've got Buck back. Nakalabas.
Yay!
Hello, Buck.
May clearance na.
Meron na. May visa.
We've got a full house tonight on Tunay na Rider. We've got the fabulous Orbe Boys and of course the patriarch, si Bobby Orbe, who is the general manager of the big bike division of Wheeltek Motor Sales Corp. And you guys represent what brands? Ang dami, Bobby. Basta lahat ng brands.
Wow.
Yun na, diba?
I'm about to fill all my fingers into the count. You know, right now we have 7.
7. All right. Pero specifically, right now, it's the big luxury high-end bikes, right? Like Ducati and Harley. And then we've got
surprise.
Go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead.
I said surprise. The count isn't finished. We're still going to add some more premium brands to the roster, to the list.
So one-stop shop. Shop. And then we've got Jacob with his blue and white brand colors there. He's with RSA Motors.
Yes.
And then you got to be on good behavior. I just saw Sir Gil and Archie checking up on you about it. All right. And then
good evening, guys. Thank you for having us.
In the orange corner.
In the orange corner. We've got Patrick. And balita ko, si La Ana and Dino are going to be checking you out with pride now.
Yun.
Yes,
definitely.
Wow.
All right, so before we start, Jolly,
Yeah,
Let's
bago
hit
tayo
it.
mag-start, we have to talk about our sponsors na who was sticking with us since day one. So we'd like to talk about Podmetrics. So if you're a
Yes.
podcaster or someone who plans to advertise on a podcast, punta kayo sa website podmetrics.co. So we have a lot of features for both content creators and
Podmetrics.
advertisers. Yon. Check out podmetrics.co for more information. So Podmetrics is the easiest way to monetize your podcast. Tapos may good news nga pala ako, Iba Bak.
Oh, ano naman yan?
Na-extend yung promo natin dun sa Mr. Speedy. So kung gusto nyo
Yun.
magpadala, gamitin niyo yung code Speedy na Rider. 50% off sa first order.
Speedy Rider.
So na-extend hanggang April 30, 2021 yan. Ayun.
Interesting.
And with that,
Grabe,
Hilig
ang
naman
dami-
ako
ang
sa
daming
comment ni
bakla,
Carlo.
grabe oh. Ang daming backlog.
Baklab. Baklava.
Brokebakan mo na to.
All right. Yeah. So please, use Mr. Speedy. Right now, when we're socially distant, it's the fastest and easiest way to get goods and send it out. Yung mga riders na kaibigan natin, not just in Mr. Speedy, but Grab, Angkas, those guys are all heroes.
Mhm.
And is that it?
Yep. Ay,
Okay.
may public service announcement pala.
All right, so we've got Buck back. Ang daming excited. And honestly, we haven't been completely truthful. Buck, we're so happy you're back. And maybe you want to share a little bit about what happened.
Oo. Basically, nagka-COVID ako. Yung hawaan talaga, hindi mo malalaman kung kailan. At saka kung saan mo na makukuha. So, bilang public service announcement ng Tunay na Rider, mag-doble ingat tayo, mag-double mask tayo, social distancing, tsaka drink your vitamins every day.
True.
Yun.
Tama. Oh.
Tsaka be nice to others. Hindi
course.
tumatalab yung vitamins pag hindi ka nice sa others. Eh. Kaya yata nayari ako eh.
Ang daming buck love Nako, magpa-vaccine. Sabi ni Art.
Hindi, alam mo, totoo yan. Magpabakuna na yung pwedeng magpabakuna. Paano nga ulit yung iba? Di ba nag-sign up ka?
All right, so everyone, you can sign up to there are several apps depending on the LGU you're in. Like ako sa Quezon City, I signed up to the QC app, the QC Citizen app, and then there was one by QC Consult, and I'll share the links later. And then, so I filled up everything. I got a med cert because I am huge. Bobby can attest to, kasi dati kasama sa Fat Boy Club si Bobby. Now he's skinny. So sadly, because I am out of shape, I'm overweight, and former smoker and have asthma, mas delikado for someone like me. So may comorbidity, may pre-existing conditions. I got a med certificate, and then I contacted my barangay. I reached out to the Kagawads here in our barangay, and I asked, how do I avail of the vaccine? So talaga sineryoso ko to, pare. I did everything I should do and more. I'm not just waiting around because it's too dangerous.
Good for you. You're a good example.
So
And
yes,
if
sir.
I may, guys, in Makati, I was able to register. There's a Makati app also, Bakuna Makati. I could help you, Iba, guys, and I could share the link for those who are residents of Makati. I was able to register and successfully have my first shot last week.
Yes, that's
Uy.
worth celebrating.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
How was it? How was the experience?
It was pretty organized. I kind of thought that it was a rather long and tedious process, lasting about a couple of hours. But then, when I heard the other guys from the other places, ranging from 4, 5, 6 hours, I said, "Hey, Makati wasn't so bad after
Hindi
all.
na masama.
2 hours, tapos."
Not bad, not bad.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And that included a 30-minute break after the vaccination. You're given a rest period of about 30 minutes, so that you can be examined and monitored if there are any adverse reactions right away. Yan. So, okay naman.
Okay.
Kasama na doon sa 2 hours yung 30 minutes na
So, pwede
monitoring.
na,
Mm.
pwede na.
Not bad, not bad. It was very impressive actually.
So, Patrick, how are you guys staying safe during this time?
Ayun, we are following the advice, of course. Number one, you need to have your face mask and, of course, face shield when going out. Tapos, at work also. So, of course, yung safety mo, it would go all down. It would go down the drain if you're outside, and then yung mga facilities are not doing their part. So, it's always good to pati sa office nyo sa work, if they're doing those things. So like us in the office, we have a booth sa likod, so all our front doors are closed. The only way they could go inside the building is through the back. Doon sa likod, we have, of course, the sanitation area. We have that, yun nga, Sir Iba, the booth that you were saying, yung parang sanitation booth, may mist spray siya.
Sobrang
So,
high-tech
yung-
na day one pa lang nandun na yun when Jolly and I visited. Diba?
Nalala ko si
Tuwang-tuwa
Iba
kami.
nung pumasok. Si Iba sumisigaw, nasa loob eh. Yung, Psh! Ah!
Oh,
So yun, yeah. So that one, of course, you have the yung what do you call that? That gun for checking the temperature, and then of course you have yung what you call that? Yung mga alcohol, ganon. So it's good to
sanitation, hand wash area.
yes, to practice yung ating mga minimum health standards. So of course, when you go when we reach home also, you remove all your clothes, yung shoes mo, iwan mo lang sa labas in one space, tapos diretso ka na kagad, maligo na to disinfect.
Mm.
So ayun.
actually, Bobby, may tanong si Carlos Samson. And this is my question because balak ko, when I get the vaccine,
Go.
magmotor lang ako papunta sa location.
Okay.
Tanong na ni Carlo, can I ride my motorcycle when I get my vaccine or baka mahirapan ako pauwi?
Well, actually, number one, you have to be well rested the day before. Make sure, because the only reason why you will be finding it difficult to ride your motorcycle back home after the vaccination is if you would feel any untoward events. I mean, effects of the vaccination itself. No, pag wala, okay lang. You know, I went to Makati. That was like 2 kilometers away from my house, Makati Coliseum. I just took my bicycle.
Wow! Hardcore talaga.
Nagbisikleta lang ako.
Healthy na si Bobby, ah.
Yan ang tunay na rider.
Nagbisikleta ako kasi ako naman, I was not anticipating the difficulty health-wise going back home. I was anticipating ako baka mamaya mahirap pumarada, baka maraming tao.
Yun. Oo.
You know?
Yun,
So I took my bike, parked it beside the guardhouse, and then went home. I felt okay. So make sure you're properly rested. So the day before, para you would boost your chances of not reacting immediately. You can ride back home again.
So si Iñaki Jose, aside from saying he misses you, Jacob, is saying yes, nagmotor ako, nagmotor lang after my shot, nag-air. Si Iñaki, ano yan, ang tibay talaga nun.
Oh, hardcore yan. Si Idol Iñaki yan.
Oo.
Oo, si Sir Iñaki talagang
At saka ang vaccine naman hindi naman
Yeah.
right away
Hardcore
magkakaroon ng effect. It takes several hours
bukas pa eh.
muna.
Yeah.
Bago may pakialaman siya sa katawan mo.
If I may add, if I may add, doon sa monitoring room, yung medyo nagre-react, yung medyo mga may edad na talaga. But the younger ones are relatively okay. Puro maganda yung reaction nung sa monitoring room.
Huwag ka lang
for 30 minutes.
magka-anxiety.
Oo.
Yes,
oo.
yes.
Ako,
Baka
Of course,
ano no,
that's
baka
very true.
psychological lang no.
Yeah, totoo.
Oo. At saka wag kayong mag-alala kasi wala namang bayad, libre. So no need for anxiety.
all right. How about you guys, Jacob? What are any tips to our listeners on best practices and what are you doing to stay safe during this time? Jacob?
Well, right now,
Parang
what I do is medyo, hello? Yeah.
Good.
What I do right now is I'm a bit sensitive when it comes to sanitation. So pagka-uwi, ligo agad and then change. Of course, yung I try to disinfect as well yung motorcycle ko. Maybe the common yung mga hand grips.
Oh, we lost them.
Yeah. He's very he's actually we're still staying in the same house, so
Okay.
I could add up that he's very responsible. So he really follows the IATF protocol to the letter. Pag pumunta rito, pag dumating sa bahay, he's conscious about sanitation.
Yeah, we
At
have to
saka,
be
di ba,
super
sa
diligent.
sa RSA, may ano din sila very tight din yung kanilang
Oo.
mga protocols pagpasok mo sa kanilang showroom. At saka alam ko work from home yata sila ngayon lahat eh.
Welcome back, Jacob. Go ahead. You were saying. Jake, go ahead.
Up, I think naka-mute.
Naka-mute ka, mute.
There's no audio.
Or hindi nakakabit yung headset.
Oo.
All right, so
Well,
Ayun.
Wala.
all right, so the reason why I've always been curious because I've known Bobby for a long time. I don't know how many years na, di ba? Ilan lang nagmomotor noon, pare. Nakikita tayo kung saan-saan, di ba?
True.
And in recent years, mga last 5 years, every place I go, I see an Orbe. I see it in KTM. I see it. And honestly, you guys kind of look alike. And I thought, palipat-lipat lang.
Unahan ka, Iba. Unahan ka papunta doon.
And then, when I found out the three of you are all with different different brands and different companies, I thought, wow, that's so cool, right? I mean, this is like one of the families that are
Very
behind
true.
the scenes in all of these industries. And I wanted to ask, first off, how did you guys get into riding? And maybe we'll start with the patriarch because that's probably where it started. Yeah, and Bobby.
Oh, well, back in the days, when we were young, walang technology noon. You were definitely going to end up trying out two wheels, diba? Guys,
Yep,
no? Two wheels yan. You definitely be out on the road. Either you're scaling a fence, going up a tree, picking up bayabas or something with your friends, and at most playing something out on the streets. But eventually, one would end up owning a bicycle. And in Makati, in San Antonio, where I grew up, everybody in the early 70s started having a bicycle, and it was like a flu that caught on. It was like COVID, So everybody caught the two-wheel virus, and everybody was riding bicycles. And one thing led to the other. A friend of mine, his dad bought him a monkey, yung mini trail.
Oy,
Mhm.
yun.
So everybody was on it. Nahuhulog sa kanal, and kasi open canal pa tayo nung araw, no? So, and there was a particular celebrity. I don't know if you remember, guys, si Rodolfo Pangan, si Chiquito.
Mhm.
He was
Ang
he
daming
was a
motor
tenant.
nun.
Oh, he was a tenant before in my parents' apartment home in Makati. So doon ako una nakakita ng motor. And then my brother during my early teen years, naka-motorsiklo, naka-100 na Yamaha. So it really caught on to me. I remembered two wheels. And I said to myself, I'm gonna have one when the time is right. So
Yun.
by mid 80s, my parents gave me money to buy a car. I told them, hey, this is not enough to buy a car. So sabi sa akin, be creative. All right, thank you very much for giving me that
Freedom.
that freedom. So I ended up buying my first bike in the mid 80s, a Kawasaki Z400. And
Yun.
my relationship with big displacement motorcycle started from there.
All right. So, what about Patrick? How did you? Obviously, your dad has been riding as long as you've known him. What inspired you to get into riding? I mean, you don't necessarily have to do what your dad does, right?
Tinatakas niya yung bike ng dad niya.
hindi,
Duda ko parang ganun eh.
hindi naman kami. Good boy naman kami. So, we've had some friends na ganon who did those things, yung talagang tinatakas yung bike. But on our end, hindi naman. So, si dad lang noon, when he was riding, he was... by the time I started recalling stuff, he was riding motocross already. So he would be taking us to his races. The earliest that I can remember was in BGC pa, yung PLDT races.
PLDT Petron Motocross.
Oh, nakapanood ako nun.
Lalo ko yun, Oo nga.
Series. Yan. Ni Goma.
Yes. So, yun. And then, I was in grade 2. Si Dad bought me sometime February 2002. My first bike.
You remembered.
PW50. Yes.
Grade 2?
So,
Ang
19
swerte
years.
mo.
Grade 1 actually. So 7 years old. So and then ayun na, from then until now, different more on road na ngayon, but still riding two wheels until now.
Galing. All right, Jacob, how about you, man? Oh, walang audio pa rin.
Si Kuya, walang audio. While we're waiting for Jacob, you know guys, back in my time, may trivia ako niyan. Tinatanong ko sila parate, you know what our riding gear was back in the day?
Jeans.
All right, so
anybody?
Aviator shades.
Ayan, you remembered, man. You remembered, di ba? Kasi nung araw, wala tayong, I don't know, nobody paid much attention to safety gears at that. Even the car owners, pag nakikita ka, or even the community, your family, di ba? Pag nakamotor ka rin, nakala lang, nakabisikleta ka lang, kahit wala kang helmet, naka-jacket ka lang, naka-leather maong, ganun. Ang pinaka-in riding gear namin, pinakamahal, yung Ray-Ban, di ba? Yung aviator, yung may hook sa likod ng tenga para it doesn't fall off.
Di lumipad.
Kasi, you know why?
That's exactly what Iñaki Jose said. Si Iñaki was our guest last week. And him and si Sir Bong Nebrija are all 80s riders. So kinuwento nila sa amin yon, yung walang kagir-gir noon.
Tom Cruise talaga yun.
Wala ka kasing mabibilihan. That's the underlying story behind it. That's why if you're lucky to find yourself in a motorcycle store, tapos may 3 pirasong helmet doon at may nagkasya sa'yo, bilihin mo na kasi hindi ka makakapili ng model, hindi ka makakapili ng brand. Nag-fit. You're lucky. Buy it.
Si Yan Borja said, combat boots for motocross yung ginagamit.
Oh, correct. And for
Well,
for reasons beyond me, the best place to get combat boots was in Baguio. Yung public market, nandun lahat yung mga US surplus.
Yung mga surplus.
Better supply than in Clark before kasi nandiyan ang US base, di ba? Nandun sa Baguio lahat, ang gaganda.
Ang titibay nun, yung mga
Jacob.
Gibson.
Ayan na si Jacob. Are you okay, Jacob? Jake?
Oh, wala pa rin.
Nawawala pa rin si Jacob.
Sabi nga ni Alvin
Jake.
sabi nga ni Alvin mayayain talaga si Jacob.
Mahihain ka talaga daw,
Oo
Jake.
nga,
Sabi ni
oo nga.
Alvin D.
Ganun talaga nagbibinata.
Yun, shy daw, sabi ni Alvin.
But as a quick overview, si Jacob started riding when he saw his kuya. Kasi nai-influence ko na si Patrick doon. Tapos si Jacob din was, exerting effort to mount my bike before. Siyempre, baby pa sila, maliit pa, no? Tapos nakita niya yung kuya niya, may motor. Being the competitive brother that he is, sabi niya, I also want one. Approve. Dalawa na sila.
Kaya naman pala iba walang takasan ng motorsiklo. Supportive naman kasi yung parents.
Wait,
Ang tawag sa amin noon, konsentidor. Konsentidor na magulang. Yun.
Konsentidor.
Kasi pinabayaan namin sila magmotor.
But you know
Jacob,
what?
are you okay? Jake?
Hello? Yan.
Yun!
Meron.
Hawa ka na, Jake.
Finally, welcome.
Hindi ka na papagalitan ni Alvin.
Oo nga. Oo. So yes, if I may continue, yung na-mention ng dad ko, I was around 5 years old. Nakita ko kasi before, yung kami ng kuya ko, we used to ride together all the time, bicycle. So, one time, nakita ko yung kuya ko naka-motor. So sabi ko sa dad ko, bakit si kuya naka-motor? Ako naka-bike na lang. Parang may mali.
Parang dehado.
So, yun yung story. That's how I got into riding. After nun, my dad was able to buy me PW50, yung Yamaha na 50cc.
Mm-hmm.
Ano yun, very friendly beginner bike for kids kasi may limiter pa yung throttle nun. And I think makikita nyo pa rin siya ngayon sa market. So, that's it. And then so from bicycles, kami ng kuya ko, we started riding na 2 motorcycles. Yeah.
Ang gastos nun
Medyo. Ay, totoo yan.
Motor, pare.
Pag-uusapan ba natin dito yung financing?
Pwede. Hindi pa uso yung financing nun.
Naalala ko before, pag tinatanong ko yung dad ko, yung about sa gastos, kasi usually yung bikes namin, dahil motocross, talagang semplang kaliwat kanan yan eh. Tapos makikita ko yung dad namin, nag-aayos dun sa tent. Tapos, tatanungin ko, Dad, magkano na pag ginagastos natin dyan? Ay, naku anak, magmotor ka na lang dyan. Enjoyin mo na lang yan.
Wow!
Okay, sige.
Nobody's counting.
Para maging anak ni Bobby.
Those were the days,
But guys, let me add, before they started riding motorcycle, siyempre bicycle muna. Diba? Bisikleta. Tapos, I started building them obstacles. Alam mo yung jump, naglagari ako ng plywood, ng kahoy, ganyan.
Ginawa mong laruan yung mga anak mo.
True.
Ginawa mo silang Tamiya.
Pinagkaroon na sila.
Ginawa Hot Wheels, may jump eh.
Mga willing volunteers. Tapos alam mo yung iba, you mentioned, I was in steel, no? Yero. Yung yero na corrugated na bubong, ilalatag ko yun. Pabang ganon. Tapos padadaanin ko sila doon sa hoops. Nagbabicycle sila doon, umaalog-alog sila doon, no? Tapos if they can hack it, then they can pursue. 'Yon. Pag ayaw, gusto. So ayun, nag-advance.
Okay, before we tackle the steel thing, sabi ni Alvin D, inggitero ka pala, Jacob. All right. So
Actually,
this is
yeah,
how
before.
si Kuya ba't meron? I can imagine. So before
Oo nga.
actually a couple of hours before this show, I had a meeting and I just told them, "Oh, by the way, Bobby Orbe is going to be my guest tonight." And one was with one of the people in the meeting was Julian Legaspi, who used to be like regional head of
Oh.
KTM,
Very good.
and he
Good
goes,
guy.
he had nothing but good things to say about. He said Tito Bobby, like Tito Bobby brought a certain level of professionalism to the motorcycle industry that has had long-lasting effects and impact on the industry, and it's good to see that. His sons are carrying on that tradition. Hopefully, yeah, maybe Hill and Dino can correct me there. But what shocked me was I had another guy in the meeting who had nothing to do with motorcycles, doesn't ride, and he told me, Bobby Orbe, wasn't he in steel before? Because my tito tried to hire him. So
Super.
I did not know your life before riding, Bobby. What was your no? You were a corporate guy. You were an executive in the steel industry.
That is true. I was part of the Jacinto group, and I was behind, like what I did for Wheeltek, I was behind the nationwide expansion. I set up regional offices and gave the company the opportunity to operate nationwide. Jacinto Steel, si Fern, no?
Yep,
That
yep. Si
that
Fern. So okay.
that makes a lot of sense, iba. Na sa Jacinto Steel, kaya pala sagana sa yero.
Yun.
Exactly. All right. So Bobby, what made you? I mean, so this is a unique story because most of the people who are in the motorcycle industry have been riding their whole life. They're entrepreneurial. You at that time hindi pa corporate yung motorcycle industry. It was very kind of an old school business, diba? When you got
Yes.
into it.
Yes.
What made you decide to move from a corporate job, we're in, big company, very professional and executive, to the motorcycle field?
A very good question. It was something that fell on my lap. I did not prepare for it. It just happened. I had what you call a career burnout. You know, I am actually to most people they don't know. I am actually an architect by profession, and I ended up on the other
Ah,
side of the coin, which is sales and marketing of construction materials with the Jacinto. Like what I said, I was given the opportunity and the privilege to set up Jacinto network in the Philippines, the biggest network that time. And I spent like over 2 decades of my the best parts of my life in the steel industry with the Jacintos. And
and you were
when the
riding the whole
opportunity,
time.
oh yes, yes. I was actually one of the few executives in Makati riding around on a big bike with a coat and tie or a barong alternately. And dito yon sa Legazpi Village back in the late 80s and the early 90s. So I guess people remembered, and I have to thank the husband and wife tandem of Toti and Joy Alberto. They're the ones who I've been with in the off-road scene in the late 90s, and I saw the couple when they were setting up their business, and I sort of like supported them as well, giving them a lot of customers over up north where I was at that time. And di matagal na kami magkakilala. So when the time came, sabi sa akin ni Toti, sabi sa akin ni Joy, ano ginagawa mo, Bobby? Kaya ako, wala, nandito lang sa bahay. Kaya ako, nagtatanim lang ako ng kamatis at saka ng sili. Seriously, you wanna join us? Because they were like on the verge of expanding and professionalizing Ducati and KTM Philippines back then. I said, guys, wag niyo akong bibiruin. Pikon ako. Baka patulang ko yung offer ninyo. And the rest, as they say, is history. Thank you, Toti. Thank you, Joy. They got me into the
Wow.
two-wheel business.
Galing. All right. So this is the origin story
Yes.
of Bobby Orbe, the institution
Yes.
in riding. What about you guys? Jacob, how did you get into the industry?
Actually, I got an offer from Sir Gil Balderas after my graduation. No, actually, that was even before my graduation. So, my dad told me na he was able to talk to Sir Gil nga, ganyan. And then, sabi ko, oh, wow, BMW Motorrad. Oh, motor. Dalawa gulong. Sige, let's go. And then, also, yeah. Kasi it's aligned with my passion eh. So, wala nang isip-isip. Ano talaga yun eh. Sabi ko, it's a golden opportunity. Yeah, talon agad.
So basically, you
So-
learned from your dad, who said, "You know what?
Yeah.
I spent 20 years with steel, but then afterwards, you know what? Shortcut na. Wag ka na magano. Wag ka na pumasok sa ibang negosyo,
Kung saan
ibang
pa.
corporation. Doon ka na kung saan ka masaya. Grabe ang
Huwag
swerte niyo talaga, Jacob, Patrick, ha?
At saka ano din eh, yung nung nagkaroon ng offer yun si Sir Gil Balderas, at that time yung kuya ko din nasa KTM na. So sabi ko din, oh, parang si kuya nasa motor na din ah. So dapat ako din yata. So,
Ingitero.
Ingitero
Si
talaga.
Alvin. Si Alvin.
tama si Sir Alvin D.
Ikaw pala yung number 1 coach ni Alvin, ha? Sabi niya.
Ako sabi niya lang po yan, pero baliktad yan. Magaling yan, Sir Alvin.
So,
Gil Balderas. Gil Balderas, thank you very much for trusting
Yes.
Jacob.
Thank you, Sir Gil.
Wow. Ito yung pinaka-family episode namin. I'm sobrang touched, man. Medyo nagiging emotional na ako. I wish I was an Orbe.
Ako, Sir, Sir Iba, yung younger sister namin, yan, may time, nagtatanong na
Si
yan.
Bianca.
Si Bianca is asking, saan kaya ako, isang brand naman kaya ako?
Nice naman.
Enjoy dinner muna. Tsaka na tayo mag-usap ng motor.
So we've also got Ruel Maranan in the house. That is the pursuit of passion. You will never work after you find it. And we've got Dino Santos. Mabuhay ang Orbe
Dino!
family. And then, of
Dino,
course, si
Dino.
Sir Gil. Thank you. Thanks to you too, Bobby. Yun.
Grabe iba, parang ano to parang world peace to Meron tayong mga
Oo.
KTM, BMW.
I love all, man. Love all. All right, so
May
Patrick.
truce,
So I know Jacob got in kasi nainggit siya sa'yo and then sa dad. So Patrick, how did you get into the motorcycle industry?
Yun lang. We just found an opportunity. So, ayun, before I graduated, we were...
Before you graduated, may trabaho na kayong dalawa? Grabe.
Wala pa naman. But, ayun, we were... Si Jacob first ang nauna. Actually, he was being sponsored by the previous handler of KTM before. So, he was riding motocross. He was racing Visayas and Mindanao. And then ako medyo naglaylo ako because I was graduating. But still, ayun, we got sponsored bikes for a racing and motocross. And then actually ang plan ko pag graduate kasi yun na nga, pag alam natin pag nagtrabaho ka na, diretso na yan hanggang pagtanda eh. So ako ang gusto
True.
ko pag graduate ko siguro bakasyon muna ako siguro, 1 or 2 months. Ganon. But in the end, yun.
Si Patrick nothing to prove eh. Si Jacob yung ano.
So, ayun. I was,
Competitive.
yun ang plan ko talaga. Pahinga muna siguro. Maybe 1 or 2 months. Kasi yun na nga, bakbaka na yan. Diretso na. Wala nang pahinga yan eh. But yun, sabi nga nila that Lord works in mysterious ways. So, yung plan ko na 1 to 2 months na pahinga, 2 weeks lang. So, 2 weeks lang after, trabaho na kagad.
And
Thank you.
ayun.
Thank you, Dino. Thank you, Dino Santos, for trusting Patrick.
so sabi ni Dino, they are my family too.
Actually, si Sir Dino is the same like my dad. So, si Sir Dino, I believe, is 20 plus years din sa bank. And then, jump to ito.
That's true.
Career
That's
change.
true. Oo.
Career change. Oo.
Mm.
True.
Patrick is the best daw, sabi ni
Guys,
Dino.
guys. I have to thank Dino Santos and Hil Balderas endlessly because it's very easy to appreciate the picture of my family na. Si Jacob is with Hil in BMW, si Patrick is with Dino is in KTM. I am with the Odulio family, Roscoe Odulio with Wheeltek. Pero alam ninyo, mahirap po itong nangyari. Kung hindi nagtiwala si Dino, hindi nagtiwala si Hil Balderas, hindi po mangyayari ito. You know why? Because there is such a thing as corporate secret. It's very tempting over dinner to talk to Patrick and to talk to Jacob and throw my weight around them. Hey, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Diba? Corporate secrets yan. Pero pinagkatiwalaan po nila kami. Even my boss, Roscoe Dulio, I had to ask permission. Boss, okay lang ba yung anak ko magtatrabaho sa ganitong kumpanya? Kay Dino, sa KTM si Patrick, si Jacob with Hil Balderas, okay lang ba? Binigyan naman nila kami ng blessing. So, ang laking pasasalamat namin because this would not have been possible without the trust and confidence. Yung skill, yung pangalan was secondary. Because if they valued, kung duda sila sa kung wala silang confidence sa amin, hindi kami trustworthy, hindi nila kami pagbibigyan. And that's why I'm very, very thankful. We are blessed na nagtiwala sila sa amin. And up to now, corporate secrets and best practices are safe.
All right. So, I only have one thing to say. Again, I think this is the third time I've said it. You two are so lucky because that trust was built by your dad. Right?
True.
That trust with these people, with all of the bike brands, was built by the professionalism of your dad. And the what's the saying? The acorn doesn't fall far from the tree. No?
Very true.
Yes.
They're actually better.
All right. And they have a 20-year head start because they're already in the field and working with businesses that they love. So,
yeah, very true.
All right. So there are no corporate secrets on a Sunday family dinner.
Yes.
But do you guys have debates about the motorcycles you have that you bring in? May mga discussions ba na ganon, na exciting? May mga debate ba?
Well, I try to be humble about my brand, the brand that I am carrying when I am talking with my brother and my dad.
Pero ikaw yung competitive eh. Yung amin 50cc. Yung amin 50cc more ha. Yung ito 10cc more ha.
I wait for them to raise their concern muna, their point, and then okay. Yung sa amin mas maganda. No.
Natatakot sila sa akin kasi sabi ko, guys, don't start this, ha? You will not win a war with your father.
Saka, what's nice about being in the motorcycle industry with the family is back then, nung wala pang lockdown, wala pang quarantine, ECQ, we would see each other usually sa mga events. So yung mga inside racing, yung mga moto builds, yung mga Ride PH events, magugulat na lang kami. Oh, Dad, dito ka din pala. Oh, kuya. And then
and you guys live in the same house. You and your dad live in the
back then.
Tapos parang after breakfast, kita na lang tayo dun sa World Trade Center. Kita tayo dun sa SMX. Sige, see you there.
That sounds like fun.
True.
So wala talagang debates? Walang discussion? Walang competition?
Wala naman. Unless may picture siguro na, uy, ganda ng bike mo. Kamusta yung bike? Maganda yung bike. That's for you to find out. Secret yun.
Go, Patrick.
Yes. On my end, since I'm not living with them na, I am living in Fairview na eh. So when I see them, far view.
yeah.
So pag when we get together, siguro ibang bagay naman ang pag-uusapan. Minsan lang tayo magkita face to face. Any topics other than riding.
Yes.
Baduy,
Kaya-
Pag
baduy.
KTM kasi, wala ka na kailangan i-prove.
Ah,
Yeah.
Ready to race.
Yeah.
Kaya kanina, if you remember, I was talking about our younger sister, si Bianca. Sabi niya, siya daw, saan daw siya, anong brand naman daw siya papasok. Kaya sabi na lang namin, sabi na lang namin, no, you just enjoy your dinner, tapos let's talk later na lang. Oo.
magugulat lang siya after Bobby calls someone and then may job
Yeah.
na.
Madali na yun, naka-line up na yun.
Oh, wait. Si Dino said, Bob, I gave Patrick a huge Japanese soba kanina. Ang daming kinain yan.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Yan yung mga secrets na nare-reveal yung madaming kinakain sa office. Oh. Patay.
You know guys, wala talagang magagawa si Dino at si Hill kundi suhulan yung mga anak ko para hindi magsalita. Soba some more. Patrick, ha?
Soba some more.
Peace.
Actually, yung noodles na yan, madami. Akin lang yun lahat.
All right. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, Sir Dino.
All right. So now, because you guys should have your own show. We can call it Tunay na Orbe. Honestly, because that would be something I would watch. It would be a great show, and you guys are gearheads. You are motocross riders. You work in the industry. This is really, really interesting to most people.
Iba, alam mo,
True,
papanoorin ko yun. Kapag meron silang feature, magre-review sila ng bike ng iba't ibang brand.
Yun.
Si Jacob gagamit ng KTM, si Patrick gagamit ng BMW.
We should do that. We should do
Yeah,
that.
we should.
Pag off-road lalong-lalo na kasi itong dalawang Orbe Boys ko, I taught them how to ride motorcycles because I was back during their time when they were kids and they were ready to learn how to ride a motorcycle. I was hooked up into trail riding. I had nature, diba? Pupunta ka sa taas. There's sa bundok and ang galing. Sabi ko, tuturuan ko itong mga anak ko magmotor para makita nila yung beauty of nature, up in the mountains. And funny because, alam mo, yung mga anak natin, pag nasa baba, di ba, sasabihin mo, anak, don't sit there, don't play there, it's dirty. Stand up, wear your slippers. Pag nakita nila si daddy dito, gumugulong sa putika, sa ilog, basta lahat. Sabi ko, oh my God, I'm going to lose my credibility, So, that being said, a lot of people don't know that Patrick and Jacob are certified motocross champions from they were kids, Pee-wee class up to novice and anong category, anak, after novice? Intermediate. Why did they stop? I am so blessed, guys. I have two kids, na motocross champions. Sinusuportahan namin mag-asawa ng parents nila, sinusuportahan namin. Naririnig ko yung mga peers nila sa racetrack, Dad, Ma'am, may exam ako next week. Kailangan kausapin natin yung school, yung teacher, yung principal. Kasi hindi ako makakapasok. May karera. Diba? At itong mga anak ko, ako nagtatanong, Patrick, Jacob, ba't hindi kayo nagre-ready, nagpa-practice? May karera kayo next week. Ay, nako, Dad, hindi ako attend. Kasi may exam. Magpe-prepare ako. May activity sa school. Ako pa yung nagsasabi na, gusto niyo ba kausapin ko yung principal ninyo, yung teacher ninyo? I'm so blessed, guys. Kaya nung time na yun, hanggang intermediate class lang sila. Kasi, sabi nga ni Patrick, these boys studied in La Union. St. Louis College, high school. Tapos nung nag-college dito sa Manila, they took it seriously. They graduated on time. Wala akong problema sa kanila. Hindi nagmana sa akin. Tinapos nila yung college nila on time, on schedule. Hindi ako napahiya sa parents ko, sa parents ng mami nila. Ang galing, ang galing. Hindi sila nag-pursue nung kanilang competitive careers kasi gusto nila matapos sa college.
Wow.
Galing ninyo, guys. I love you for that. Thank you for not being like your mom and your dad. Guys, hindi umiinom, hindi nagyoyosi yung mga yan.
Si Alvin. Comment ni Alvin.
Comment ni Alvin. Nanililigaw lang sila, nalaloko ka.
Alvin, lamang pa rin si Daddy sa pagdating sa ganyan.
Hands down. Hands down. Hands down.
Hands down.
Napakaswerte ko, guys. Thank you. I'm proud to tell everybody, their secret aside from being motocross champions is the discipline. Ang galing. Sarado ang saludo ko sa kanila doon. Galing.
So, ito yung pinaka-hallmark episode ng Tunay na Rider ever. Out of 40 plus episodes, this is for me one of the most touching ones. And usually at this point, I ask, do you have any advice for newbie riders, etc., etc.? But it seems like, your dad and having a family that rides, parang everything has been taken care of. No? Parang you did it right in the beginning, you learned. So I guess I'll just pass it off to Jolly and we can talk about gear and motorcycles.
Ayun. Alam mo, Iba, parang nung sinabi mong gusto natin i-guest si Bobby Orbe and his sons, parang, teka Iba, parang mahirap to Ang daming brands. Kasi usually at my segment, we would ask the guests na anong bikes ang ginagamit mo. Kasi sa totoo lang, Bobby, alam ko ang dami mong hawak na brands Pero I would like to know,
Totoo.
What bikes do you have? What's on your stable right now?
Let me start off my response with the blessed opportunity of joining Wheeltek. Kanina I mentioned, I take my hats off to Toti and Joy Alberto for ushering my corporate career change, joining the motorcycle industry. It was through them that I was able to make the career change late in my life. But it was actually the Odulio family that nurtured that change. I went to the Odulio family and started the Wheeltek Big Bikes division. Suzuki, Kawasaki, Honda, Yamaha, KTM of course is there. And now I have Harley and Ducati in Cebu. And Gil Balderas, naghihintay pa rin ako ng BMW mo, ha? So, Jolly, in response to your question, because of this unique opportunity, I have had the unique blessing to own many motorcycles. Kasi kasama sa trabaho ko yun I've had Yamaha, I've had Honda, but right now, in my stable, so to speak, are Kawasaki, Suzuki's, and Harley. And of course, sana makapag-save up ako para makabili ako ng Ducati.
Yun.
Ay, alam ko na. Pero alin sa mga bikes na yun is your favorite or you ride most often?
Jacob, anong favorite mo? Sumagot ka ng tama, nakikinig si Will.
Ako, honestly speaking, ang favorite bike ko is yung adventure bike ng BMW. Kasi before...
May kakampi ako ngayon dito.
Hindi.
Sabi ni Rafi, Mio daw. Lahat Mio.
Kasi, personally, from my experience, ang una kong na gamit na BMW was an R1200 GS. Tapos I remember, it was a training for, meron kasing event si BMW Motorrad na GS Trophy. If you're not familiar, yun yung, it's a competition, testing of skills ng riders sa off-road environment. Okay, so si Sir Hill was spearheading the activity, and then that was the time na that was the time.
Alvin D, sip-sip talaga.
Doon ko din nakilala si Sir Alvin, si Sir Toto Villanueva. Sa Taytay Rizal kami noon. So sabi ni Sir Hill, time sa MX Messiah Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Kay Pastor Sam pa noon.
So, doon, first time ko nakita, sabi ko, BMW Motorrad na mga motor na nandun sa off-road, iniikot nila. Sabi ko, wow. Tapos sabi ni Sir Hill, sige, try mo yung isa. Sabi ko, sir, totoo po ba? Kasi at the back of my mind, parang, pagka matumba ko to, parang ang mahal na to, parang kulang pa yung, pa ako na to, probationary pa lang ako. Baka ma-risk yung regularization ko. So, yeah.
Jacob, ituloy mo yung kwento mo. Sabi mo sa akin, Daddy, pwede ba akong mag-semplang ng isang motor tapos bayaran mo muna?
Grabe yun. So, going back, yung experience ko noon sa GS. Kasi ako, at that time, bagets pa eh. So, kung tatanungin niyo ako before, ano yung taste ko sa motor, gusto ko yung mga pogi, yung mga sports bike, ganon, yung mga macho, mga naked bike. Pero wala pa sa option ko before yung adventure bike. Pero nung nakatry ako nung R1200 GS, at that time, sa off-road setting, sabi ko, wow, nagbago yung perspective ko. So kaya pala ang daming lumilipat, ang daming nagagandahan sa 1200 GS. Sabi ko, wow. So after that experience, sabi ko, if I would be given the opportunity, or if I would be able to save up enough for a bike, I would definitely must have an adventure bike ng BM sa garage ko. And then meron na lang second bike.
Dapat kasama yun sa perks, 'di ba, Sir Hill?
Bike plan.
Bike plan.
Grabe. Ano yun? Memorable
Si Patrick.
experience for me.
Patrick, ikaw. Sumagot ka naman, anak.
Pressure.
Syempre, ready to race machine.
Yun.
Tatlo tayo.
Ayun. But ayun, ako naman, ayun, for the longest time before we were in the off-road industry, we were more on racing. We were not more on street. We were introduced dito sa mga big bikes when my dad started with the Ducati and then Wheeltek. So with that, the opportunity came to test bikes. So ako the first big bikes that I've ridden, adventure bikes talaga ang natipuhan ko. Prior to joining KTM, so we have tried different bikes, so especially the V-Strom lineup of Suzuki, and I tried also yung Versys, and yun nga, that opportunity came from my dad being from where he is working, and I've tried sports bikes, naked bikes. Hindi ko ma-appreciate yung mga sports bike before. Kasi naka-yuko, the squeezing through traffic, wala namang problema. Sanay kami ng banata ng katawan eh. But hindi ko ma-appreciate yung sports bike being on the street. So hindi ko siya na-appreciate before. I'm more of an adventure bike uh, biased models doon. So and then when I
Agree.
came to KTM, nakita ko yung 1290 Super Duke R. So,
Uy.
Sir Dino.
Uy.
So, ayun.
90cc
So,
more, ah.
that was in, I think they released that mga 2014, the first one to arrive here in the
Yes,
Philippines.
yes.
Actually, that customer, that guy, nasa kanya pa rin yung bike niya, that first Super Duke R, pinapaservice pa rin sa BGC. Foreigner siya. So, from that moment on, yun ang aking dream bike hanggang ngayon. So,
The
Super
balance
I've
on
Duke
been
that bike is
1290?
ridiculous.
yes, the 1290 Super Duke R. So, I've been sa sales ako ni KTM up until 2019. Nasakyan ko na lahat ng bagong bikes nila. So, bago pa natin i-release sa media yung 790 Duke, nasakyan ko na sa warehouse yan. Natuwa ako. So, all the bikes nasakyan ko sa showroom except yung Super Duke. So, until now, hindi ko pa nasasakyan yung bike na yun. Gusto ko pag sinakyan ko siya,
Saving the best for the last, anak. Diba? Saving the best for the last. Yan, ang tawag dyan.
Di ba ganyan yung bike ni Carl? Right?
Yes, that one, the black,
Oo.
black yung Kaiser Carl. But
Oh.
ngayon we have the second, the version Tunay, yung the one with the aggressive design. But ako I still fancy the first, yung first generation models.
Grabe yung mga Super Duke na yan.
Yes,
Ako,
188 horsepower.
wow. Ako guys, underrated ang Harley sa riding community. Number one, image-wise, sinasabi nila ang Harley pang senior citizen na, no? Pang may comorbidities daw, no? Pero alam nyo guys, nung nasakyan ko, sabi nila, ang init ng Harley. Eh guys, tignan nyo naman pala, 107, 114. Eh times 16 pala yon para ma-convert mo sa ano, 'di ba? Sa displacement
metric,
na alam natin. Oo, 1800 pala. Kaya naman pala kainit, no? But super, no? But I found the bikes surprisingly nice to ride and nag-enjoy ako. Siyempre pag ma-traffic, pag gumamit ka ng malaki, kahit naman anong brand, no? Medyo nakakagulat, but I'm enjoying it. Of course, before being with Ducati, nagdo-Ducati na ako. And Ducati has may sariling mundo 'yan, no? It's a different league of its own. And ngayon kasi yung Harley, kailan lang pumasok sa Pilipinas? 2013, no? 2014. And ngayon nakikita nila na I wouldn't say that Harley's a favorite, but hey, it's turning out to be one of those interesting models that I'd like to ride also. So right now I'm riding a Fat Bob and a Road King Special. May imagine ninyo, house and lot. Nung araw hindi ako, tinatanong nila ako noon, pare nakadrive ka na ba ng GS? BMW with all the panniers and everything, the trim and everything. Ako, no, it's too wide. I don't like that. Yung adventure bike, okay, ang lalaki. Ang lalaki, ganun. Ngayon, sinubukan ko yung house and lot na imamaniobra pala sa traffic. Kaya pala ganun sila, no? Kaya nila. Kaya rin naman pala.
kaya masikip na yung parking dito eh.
Okay, so
yun, wala na.
You know, the thing with motorcycles is I love them all, right? I love them all. One of my first loves was a 1600 Sportster Rigid. That was a beautiful bike. I love that bike. And I would spend so much time just staring at it. Speaking about beautiful bikes and just polishing the chrome.
Work of art.
But then I was lucky enough to get a 650 GS, and I tried it out. And then iba naman yung appeal nun. It's honestly not as sexy as the Harley, but riding it all around, parang it was a great all-around motorcycle. And I had 3 GSs na 650. And then
Hindi mo favorite bike?
Wow.
Yung Dakar was the last one. I love that bike. But again, not the sexiest, but more functional, diba? More practical. And then I topped off at 1200. Then I got a KTM, and iba naman yung appeal nun.
Yung
Grabe ang
690?
yung 690, ang laki ng ngiti ko doon, pare. I've never smiled so much and been so scared shitless on a motorcycle than I did on a KTM.
Alam mo dati, kala ko talaga kaibigan ko si Iba. Kasi tumirik yung scooter ko noon. Pinapapasok ko sa Makati. Tapos, sabi ko, Iba, tumirik yung bike ko. Malapit ako sa condo mo. Pwede bang saksak ko na lang yung bike ko sa'yo? Tapos, magagrab na ako pa uwi. Si Iba naman, di wag na. Kunin mo yung kunin mo yung 690 ko, gamitin mo. So, ginamit ko kinabukasan, rush hour traffic, Makati. Normally, mga 1 hour ang Makati. Pagdating ko sa office, 30 minutes early ako.
Wow.
Parang, ano nangyari? Parang pagdating ko sa Makati, parang, ano nangyari? Parang, ba't nanlalambot yung tuhod ko?
Tumigil yata yung relus mo.
Grabe
So
yun.
again,
Grabe
all
bike
of
yun.
those bikes, I love them all, right? But yeah, right now scooter boy ako.
Oh.
Scooter. Ako rin scooter face ako ngayon.
Oo nga. Hindi, pero guys, maluwag yung kalsada ngayon. Pwede kayo mag-big bike ulit.
Perfect pang Harley. Diba?
Ayan! Di ba? Oh, hindi masyadong mainit kasi mahangin.
Alam mo, ang ganda ng usapan na. Kasi
Totoo.
ako, personally, lumaki talaga ako. Lahat ng pinsan ko, tatay ko, lahat BMW riders. So talagang lumaki talaga ako. Indoctrinated talaga ako sa superiority ng mga BMW machines. Tapos, yun, I met Jay. Si Jay gave me a job sa Ride PH para, ikaw mag-review ng mga bikes. So, ako naman, parang, Jolly, pa-review itong Ducati. Parang, ha? Sige na nga. Parang, Jolly, kamusta? Oh shit, ang ganda pa rin ito. Alam mo yun, parang lumawak yung parang lumawak tuloy yung
Late
perception
bloomer
ko
ka
sa
eh.
bikes eh.
Oo, hindi ka na hater.
Tapos biglang
Jolly!
yung V-Strom, ang ganda ng V-Strom, nagulat ako doon.
Oo.
Parang
Jolly,
ano
papayaram ko sa'yo yung Ducati na 1260, yung bago. Yung 1250 na V4S. Yan. Oh. Di ba? Oh, subukan mo.
Plata moto natin yan. Dino. This is surprising. Dino, who is a lover of all motorcycles, especially classic ones. He says, Bob, the Road King is my dream bike.
Oh, bukas ihatid ko sa'yo yung Road King. Gamitin mo na, Dino.
Yun.
Para lumuwag yung garahe.
Oo nga. Yeah. Support, 100% support ako dyan, Sir Dino. Kunin mo na. Kunin mo na.
Patrick, dala mo yung Road King dito bukas sa bahay. Dali mo dyan sa opisina mo.
Hindi na sa office, diretso na sa address ni Sir Dino.
Ayun.
baka ma-question pa
Skyway
tayo.
lang yan. All right. And now that brings us to our next segment. And I'd like to super thank Alvin D. Take it away, Buck.
Touratech Adventure Stories. Ayan, pag-uusapan natin yung mga adventures ng mga obres. Mas ba kayo? Orbe pala. Mas nagra-ride ba kayo na isa-isa or minsan nagra-ride din kayo na whole family?
Patrick.
Well, we have time na solo ride, but of course, yung family riding is of course nandyan. So we've had few rides. So like nitong Feb, we've had parang our first ride together also. So yun,
Parang reunion.
when we started Yes, parang ganon. So, actually, yun ang first ride ko during this pandemic.
Jacob,
Saan yung mga ano nyo, yung mga favorite destinations?
For me,
Yun.
favorite destination ko when riding alone or pagkasama yung family, of course, is yung hometown namin, yung San Juan. San Juan,
La Union.
San Juan, La Union, yeah. Kasi doon kami lumaki. So that's where we grew up. That's where we stayed most of our years so far. And it's always good to go back there. So, that's one.
Ako, expressway lang. Masaya na ako. May bayad lang.
libre pa yung Skyway Connect dito.
Oo.
May speed limit.
Nako, may speed limit.
Bukas na yung
May
ano.
sila doon.
60 lang yata.
60? My goodness. Tapos 60, tapos bawal ang scooter.
Minsan nag-Skyway Stage 3 ako eh. Parang Twilight Zone pagpasok mo nung Sunday. Parang puro big bike pero parang ba't ang bagal natin?
Oo nga.
May mga
True,
ano ba
true.
kayo, parang most memorable rides magkakasama kayo or mga adventures nyo?
Bago ho na uso yung Philippine Loop, years ago, plano na namin ng late wife ko, si Candy, yung mami nila, who also rides, by the way, and was at some point in late in her life, also part of the motorcycle industry. So hindi, kung buhay pa yung mami nila, magkakasama kami, 4 kami ngayon ini-interview ninyo, no? So, but at any rate, ang pangarap po namin nung araw, bago na uso yung Philippine Loop, hihintayin namin, maturuan namin itong mga anak namin, pati ito si Bianca, who is turning 18, magde-debut yan ngayong June, no? Pag ready na sila, may lisensya na, magmomotor kami, ikot kami sa buong Pilipinas. Yun po yung pangarap namin ng late wife, nung late mother nila. But, favorite riding ninyo daw, guys. Go ahead.
Jake, ko muna, bunso.
Sige. Hindi ako papatalo dyan. No, for me, ang most memorable ride ko with the family was 2017 ba yun, Dad? Or 2016? Yung nag-Thailand kami.
17. Yeah.
15 and 16.
Ako, 16 lang yata ako nakapunta. Kayo
Yes.
nakadalawang...
Inggit na naman.
Ayan yun.
Oo nga.
Guys, yun yung sinasabi ko sa inyo, napakaswerte ko sa mga anak ko. Kasi nung time na yon, meron kami ride abroad international. Sa Asia nga lang, no, nung time na yon. Tapos hindi sumama si Jacob kasi merong exam.
Wow.
Kaya hindi siya nakasama noon. So, go ahead, Jacob. Ituloy mo yung story mo.
One day late.
So, syempre, nandun sila sa Thailand. Ako, nagmo-monitor lang sa Messenger, sa Facebook. Nagpo-post lang sila ng picture sila. Kasi what happened was, what we did there, we go there, we rent bikes, and then we ride. I think yung first year na hindi ako nakasama was Mahon Son Loop. Tama ba?
Mayong Son is part of the top 11, top 10, if I'm not mistaken, must go to riding destinations in the world.
Yeah.
Uy, good to know. Lagay ko sa bucket list ko yon.
Ako rin.
Yun. You should. Ganda.
Ako din. Hindi ako nakasama nun din.
Sama tayo.
Let's talk about it after.
Game.
So
Hill,
going
babiyahe
back-
daw kami.
Sir Hill. Yeah. So going back, yun yung first Thailand ride nila. Hindi ako sumama kasi merong exam week ko yun eh. And then only to find out na nung weekend na yun, walang klase kasi bumabagyo dito sa Pilipinas. So I was there sitting at home.
Totoo.
Grabe. I was there sitting at home. It's either I was looking outside kasi baka bumabaha na dun sa labas, Or it's either I was looking at my phone and then looking at their pictures na, wow, nagra-ride sila. Ang saya nila doon. Dapat sumama na lang ako. Yeah. So that, yeah, grabe yun.
I can feel it, man. I can feel it.
Grabe yung heartbreak. Grabe yung heartbreak nun sa iba. Pagbalik nila, parang ayoko sila kausapin. Sabi, grabe. Pagbalik nila, imagine, dinner time, tapos nag-uusap. Grabe yung ride, grabe yung ride. Ako, kain lang. So anyway,
Guys,
that was...
alam nyo masarap ulam.
Sarap. Mas masarap yung ulam. Sabi. Grabe yun. Grabe. So that was the first Thailand ride nila. Si Kuya was there. Daddy was there. Bianca was there also, no?
Oo.
Yeah.
Back-ride
So, sabi, yung younger sister ko nandun. Ako nandun lang ako sa house. Grabe. So anyway, yung most memorable ride ko was the second one. Kasi nandun na ako eh. Sabi ko, hindi ko lang.
The following year.
Yeah, wala na. Wala nang bagyo naman. And good thing, hindi din exam week. So, all good. All green. Yeah, and then we were able to ride around the borders of Thailand, the northern parts mostly. And it was memorable for me kasi the experience itself, yung iba yung kasama mo yung family eh. So bonus na lang yung nandun kami. Bonus na lang yung nandun kami sa outside of the country. But the riding with the family itself was grabe. That was the best part.
Mm-hmm.
Naiiyak na si Bobby, oh.
Lalo na nung naiisip ko yung gastos.
Okay.
Nagpilipin pa.
Aray ko.
Okay, so ikaw, Patrick, ano yung pinaka-epic family ride niyo, yung memory? Yun, walang hindi kasama si Jacob.
That would be number one. Iyon ang number one kasi that was my first time to ride outside the country. So yun nga, Thailand. So the first trip namin there, we did the clockwise loop, east north, tama ba?
Yeah.
West side, then going to the north side, parang clockwise loop siya. So and then we also yung highest point, yung kanilang highest point, we went there also.
Malamig.
Meron silang highest point doon like what we have in saan yun? Benguet ba yun, Dad?
Oo.
So we went there, tapos yung Golden Temple ba, parang mga ganon. So ayun, that would be one of the most. And then the second one is yung aming first and parang ayun, first and last family ride. So that was 2014. We had a quick ride lang, breakfast ride up in Tagaytay. So ayun, that was November 2014. So we were si Jacob was with us, me, Dad, my mom, and then si Bianca was also there, naka-back ride. So I believe yun yung going home trip natin na merong lumampaso sa ating Ducati. Akala may iwanan tayo, pero nakatutok tayo sa kanila.
Pat, ikaw lang ang nakatutok. Yes. Yung mga Ducati nakatutok sa amin ni Jacob. Nakakalimutan mo yung istorya eh.
Parang naiiwan kami nun, Kuya.
So ayun, basically those are on my head the most memorable. So of course number one being the first out of the country ride, and number two is yung aming first official family ride. So that is for yun, when we were riding road bikes, and then hiwalay pa yung aming off-road adventures.
Yes.
So ayun, for off-road adventure, just a teaser, ayun, we were on our motocross bikes from La Union. We rode up to Mountain Province, Ifugao, inikot natin 'yon, 'di ba Dad? Baguio,
Totoo,
Sagada.
totoo. Yeah,
So
yeah.
ayun,
Up north.
that one is a
Up
different,
north.
yes,
Yeah, yun.
adventure
Oo.
also. Off-road naman. On our
Ang sarap.
yes.
Sarap.
Alvin.
Easy to get ka pala, Patrick, sabi ni Alvin.
Ako naman, siyempre yun, yung family rides to. Enjoy talaga ako doon. Memorable yan. But on my own, I've ridden in France. I've ridden in Germany. Yan, yung sa Thailand namin. Sa Amerika. Yun, ang sarap. Kaya lang nakakatamad, ano? Kasi hindi ka
Highway.
makahataw. Nakakatakot. Baka mahuli ka eh. Number 1 pa naman sa moving violation sa state sa mga Pilipino. Kaya yung ride ko from California, from LA to Las Vegas. Oh, naku, Diyos ko. Talagang puro mirage yung nakikita mo sa harapan, di ba? Parang ano ba yun? Dagat na ba yun? O ano? Dire-diretso ka lang. Dahan-dahan lang. Talagang law-abiding 60 cents. So I had fun. I had fun riding also outside of the country. Kaya nung may opportunity, sabi ko I would let my boys, my family experience it because it is a once in a lifetime experience and ang memories niyan hindi mo mababayaran. Nandito lahat sa isip mo 'yun.
That is 100% true. I agree. I agree. On that note, we're at our final question, and this is what we ask everyone who's a guest on our show. Yes,
final
sir.
na ba? Maaga pa. Final na ba?
Maaga pa.
Time flies when you're having fun, man.
That's true. Very true.
And we really, really appreciate you guys sharing your stories. Again, this is our most hallmark episode. Nakaka-inspire to have a dad like Bobby and awesome kids like Patrick and Jacob, man. So yeah, on that note, ano yung ibig sabihin ng tunay na rider para sa inyo? And let's start with Jacob.
For me, ang tunay na rider is hindi kamote sa kalsada. But kasi ngayon trending na yung ganong term kamote, and then ang daming road accident. So yung perspective ng mga tao kapag nalaman nila nagmo-motor ka, it's not really positive. So number 1, that kidding aside, yan, hindi kamote. And number 2, tunay na rider for me is someone who finds joy in riding no matter what brand or motorcycle he is using while being responsible at the same time, while riding responsibly at the same time. Kasi madaming there are a lot of ways naman to enjoy riding. You just have to know where and when. It's actually very it's very fun.
True.
So it's a responsible and educated rider.
Yes.
Diba? Tama. All right.
Very well said, Jacob.
Well said.
Thank you.
Patrick.
Parang ako naman yung nainggit niya. Sinabi mo na yung sasabihin ko eh. But for me, ano nga ba ang tunay na rider? So, ayun nga ang tunay na rider para sa akin, it's not with the years that you've ridden, but it has something to do, of course, with riding responsibly, abiding by our traffic regulations. Kasi you can be riding half of your life, but yun na nga, be a goon, be a dangerous rider on the street. But tunay ka na rider kapag if you ride responsibly, if you value the safety of not just yourself but the other riders and drivers around you, and if you enjoy riding and you foster camaraderie so with your with the rider groups, so which we can see also today. Dati ayun nga, kung anong brand mo, yung ka lang, parang walang pansinan with the other groups. But ngayon, sharing tayo, the groups are coming together, different brands. So that for me is yun ang basihan ng tunay na rider. So not the years, but yung safety, responsibility, and yun, your friendship, camaraderie with your other riders, co-riders.
Yun. So it's the mindset and the community. Tama. I agree 100%. O Bobby, ang hirap ang hirap to follow yung kids mo
Oo nga, wala na ako sasabihin eh. Meron pa ba next question? But, tunay na rider, siguro dagdag ko na lang kay Jacob, dagdag ko na lang sa sinabi ni Patrick, mag-aral ka. Tapos gawin mo, be a good example. Tapos i-share mo yung natututunan mo. Huwag mong itago sa sarili mo. Kasi pagka naging good example ka, magkakaroon ka ng opportunity i-share mo. Huwag ka maging maramot, lalong-lalo na kung sa ikabubuti mo at ng mga kasama mong mga riders sa kalsada. Yan. So, yun ang tunay na rider.
You know, and I also agree with that because best practices, respect, following the rules. Viral yan eh. Di ba pansin mo sa stoplight? Dati, when we were riding before, unahan yan. Pero ngayon, kung 5 bikes huminto sa linya and hindi sila tumatakas, hindi lahat susunod eh. So
Iba
you have to be an
Iba naka
ambassador.
690 juke ka kasi. Kaya walang may gustong kumarera sa'yo.
No, you have to be an ambassador, right? You have to practice what you preach and other people will follow. Diba? You can't, kung walang tumitingin, the rules still apply. The respect still applies. The education you learned from your father still applies.
Iba baka wala lang yung time na yon, walang dumaan na raider kaya hindi ka pinarera.
Okay.
Kaya pala.
Next time, Bianca, sasama ka sa show. Kasi rider ka na.
Yun.
Kasi Bianca said, guys. Yun.
Ayun, pag-uusapan natin yung yung magiging Philippine look nila Bobby.
Oo. We'll kasama si Bianca. On that note, Jolly, we'd like to say thank you to Bobby, Jacob, and Patrick, the fabulous Orbe Boys. And how are we saying thank you, Jolly?
Ay, nako. Teka lang, sabi mga giveaway natin. Meron tayong papamigay iba na ang tagal namin pinagde-debate para brand neutral.
All right. So, we got our friends at Motul, and we're going to give you a set of Motul swag. Motul
wow, okay yan
gator, and
Wow.
Okay.
This, I love this polarized Motul
Meron tayong shades.
Wow.
Ito, nakakahol pa yung dito sa akin.
As
Thank
well
you.
as
Thank you.
meron pa. We've got some awesome Touratech shirts. Jolly, you got them? And some Under Armour shirts for you guys. For sharing your stories as a thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much to the sponsors, Motul and Touratech, Under Armour. And sino pa?
Iba sakto pala yung bigay ng Touratech ha. May GS Camp may Orange Rally eh.
Yun.
Sakto.
May KTM pa dyan. So, may pang GS. Just don't mix it up, Jolly.
Waiting po kami mag-guest ulit next month.
Game. And yeah, that's it for our show. Again, it was a really touching and inspiring episode. Thank you, Bobby, for really changing the motorcycle industry, and Jacob and Patrick for continuing it for the better.
Maraming salamat.
And on that note, Jolly.
Ayun, Sure na ba next week? 76 Customs.
76 Customs
Yun.
next week
Oh.
on
Punta
Tunay na
tayong
Rider.
norte. Oo.
Wow.
Kakain tayong
People.
burger.
Yun. Balita ko nga, masarap pagkain dun eh. Tapos, syempre, salamat sa mga sponsors that made this episode possible. So, Otterbox, Touratech, thank you Alvin D, Under Armour, Lason Moto Club, Podcast Network Asia,
Daming man.
Podmetrics, dami natin sponsor actually nga eh. Pop Socket, at saka Mr. Speedy.
All right.
Thank
see you
you,
next
thank you,
week,
guys.
everyone. Stay
guys.
safe. We love you. Please be careful out there. And
Thank
that's
you,
it for
thank you,
Tunay na
guys.
Rider.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Boss
guys.
Resco, Odulio.